Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Entertainment Update. My name is Marcus.
I am Ben.
And in this episode, we are going to be discussing the new PlayStation Plus games for this month and Call of Duty Zombies. But first, we're going to be discussing Star Wars because, of course, May the 4th was this week, and that is, of course, Star Wars Day. So, Ben, I assume you're much more of a Star Wars fan than I am.
Yeah,
I
still am.
I love the Disney Star Wars movies, which is going to start this off on a very controversial note. I think that the prequels were awful. I think that the original Star Wars movies were awful, and I think the Disney movies are the best Star Wars movies. I'm just starting this off on a controversial note, so feel free to try and rebuke my claims.
Well, I'm not gonna disagree on that one, but I like the prequels better. Personally, the prequels are my favorite. And it's the prequels, the sequels, and then the original.
See, I don't get people that like the prequels. Like, I'm sorry, but what part of the prequels make Star Wars any good? The acting's terrible. The scripts are terrible. The SFX are terrible. Like, I know I can't judge the 70s, 80s by modern standards, but even then, the special effects are terrible. Everything about the movies are terrible, and it's not even so bad it's good either. Like, it is just terrible.
Yeah, but back then that would have been, groundbreaking technology what they had used back then. So I know you said you're not gonna you can't compare it to modern technology, but I feel like it's just better,
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that, but even then, if it was groundbreaking technology, the scripts were not groundbreaking at all. Like, I Hate Sand
scripts could have been better.
I Hate Sand is the most infamous line in the entire prequel series, in the prequel trilogy.
Nah, it's a trap.
Well, there's that too, which is probably a very self-explanatory line. But I Hate Sand was such a terrible... I think it just encapsulates everything that was bad about the film. Like, it's such a bad line, and you can tell where George Lucas has really influenced certain parts of the film.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, we could go on this about all day, like discussing pros and cons of, the sequels, the prequels, and the originals. We'd just be here forever.
You're not wrong there, to be fair. Is that, like, Star Wars as a whole is just not something I'm into. Like, I'll give you Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is the best Star Wars IP out there. Like, I mean, I know Star Wars as a whole is an IP, but I think The Mandalorian is the best thing to come out of Star Wars ever. And
I've only watched the first season of it. So
I've watched the first. I haven't watched the third. I watched the first two.
Right.
But I love The Mandalorian. I mean, Pedro Pascal. What's not to love? But
yeah,
it really is just such a brilliant series, and I think it really is made for people that both love and hate Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose because, like you said, who doesn't love Pedro Pascal?
Exactly. I think Pedro Pascal was like the main, and obviously Grogu as well, who at the time was Baby Yoda.
Yeah, still and will always be Baby Yoda.
Yeah, I mean, Grogu took the world by storm. Like, the internet absolutely blew up as soon as we saw him, and oh my god, is he cute! I love him to death. The amount of Funko Pop, like, I'm an avid collector of Funko Pops, and I'm just looking at my Funkos now, and I've got quite a few that involve Grogu.
I've got a Lego set of those somewhere. Like the massive like Lego sets you get. I've got one of them somewhere. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I love Grogu so much.
Him and his Razor Crest shifter knob.
What other Star Wars stuff do you like, on the positive sides of Star Wars? Like, what other Star Wars stuff do you like that's come out of the Star Wars series that isn't necessarily just the films?
I like the games, like the Star Wars games.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to give you that one. Lego games.
Yeah, Star Wars, the Lego games, the new Jedi Survivor game that just came out a couple of days ago.
I haven't heard good things about that, to be honest.
Well, it's made by EA, so...
Yeah, but to be fair, the other one that they made was
the other one was brilliant. I like the Battlefronts. I like them ones. I like the campaign aspect to the second game as well. But as a whole, the best Star Wars games are the Lego games.
Yeah.
Especially like number 3, Attack of the Clones, or the complete saga. And the new one as well. The Skywalker saga as well.
I think, to be honest, I like all of them.
Yeah, I quite like them all. Not played them all, but from what I've seen, like people play them, I think I would quite enjoy them.
Yeah, I don't think I've necessarily I haven't played all the recent ones, but I played up until the ones on the Wii.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't enjoy them as much now because I'm not into Lego games as much. But a couple of years ago, I would have loved them. I probably still would have it, just not at the same level of enthusiasm.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be the same childish joy that I had back in the day. And it really annoys me that they haven't, like, out of all the Lego games, and it's the most recent as well, why would you not invest in an online multiplayer? Like, I would have so much fun playing it, like, I think, online multiplayer, but I think on my own, I just wouldn't enjoy it as much.
Yeah,
I mean, sure, you can do, like, share play, but it's just not as fun.
yeah. And you can't be putting Darth Vader in underwear. You just can't be.
So yeah, I think that's all I really know about Star Wars, and I think it's just come to its natural conclusion. So what about PlayStation Plus games then? You've been playing them much more than I have, so why don't you go on and tell us what they're like?
Yeah. I've not played them all. I played there's three. There's Chivalry 2, Descenders, and Grid Legends. I've played Descenders and Chivalry. I'll just run you through them. So Chivalry's a massive PvP game based, 64 players, and it's basically just Battlefield but medieval times. So you run with swords, bows, ride on horses. It's a defend. You're either on the defending team to defend certain objects, or you'll be on the attacking team and attack the objectives. I've had really good fun with it. Yeah. Then moving on to Descenders. Descenders is more of a sports game, I would say. It's a mountain biking game, and you can basically pick trails, your own trails. Pick all the ramps, curves, just a straight slope, whatever you want. And then there's the other aspect of the ragdoll physics. That's what makes the game so good. Just the ragdoll physics. Like, I don't know about you, Marcus, but have you ever had a game which you've just so invested in it just because of the ragdoll physics?
Yeah, I can't think of which game it is specifically, but there have been a couple where Ragdoll. I mean, to be fair, Siege used to be fun with Ragdolls. Obviously
Yeah,
now, yeah, obviously now they've kind of phased out that Ragdoll physic. But Watch Dogs 2, I don't think necessarily Ragdolling, but
yeah.
What's it called? Goat Sim.
Oh yeah, Ghost Simulator. Yeah.
Don't know why it took me so long to think of it. Yeah, Goat Sim is Ragdoll. Like, why not?
Yeah, so why not? You can't go wrong with it. And then we have got Grid Legends, which is basically Formula One, just sports cars. You go around a track on cars. They've got demo derbies in it as well, which I'll be looking forward to playing. It's crossplay as well, so if you've got any friends on Xbox or other games, you can play with them as well, which I think is kind of neat because, well, I suppose most of the games actually are now crossplay, aren't they?
Yeah, I think most games are crossplay these days, which is actually really good.
Yeah.
I don't really know much else about the PlayStation games, to be fair.
I don't know much about them either. I mean, I know Grid Legends is like a sort of like a remaster of because there was a Grid PlayStation 3 version, so I feel like this is kind of a remastered or like a remake version of it.
Could it not be a sequel?
Which, if it is, it could be. It could possibly be as well. But I suppose Grid didn't really have a campaign. It was just more of like an online thing. You could crash your cars into your mates and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've been playing Chivalry 2, so why don't you talk us through that then?
So the Chivalry 2 gameplay. So you can pick from. So I'll go into it. So there's you could pick you can have a random map. So it'd be Battle of the Bridgegate was one of the maps. So you've got 4 teams. Yeah. So you've got the Agathas, the Mansons, the FFA, and the Tennyson. So you can choose between those 4 teams, and then you just go into battle. You can choose from and go along with that. You've got 64 player mixed mode, which is you'll go into battle with 64 other people, 32 on each team, range of maps and all that. You've got arenas, so that's basically the ranked version, I suppose. And then we've got the offline section, so if you're ever bored or don't want to talk to your friends, just play offline.
Sounds like a fun game. I can't wait to play it with you.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Other than that, I don't really think there's that much else to talk about on the PlayStation Plus games.
Covered it all.
So moving on then to our songs of the week. So Ben, you have a brand new song for us this week, and that is No Money by Galantis. So would you like to talk us through that?
Yeah. Well, I originally discovered this song about 3 or 4 years ago. So I was just looking for new music. This one particularly caught my eye because it's good, I suppose. But yeah, it's really good because it's a really upbeat. Yeah, one of my favorite songs.
I have to say, it is a brilliant song. I mean, it's about 6 years old at this point.
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it?
Yes, I have to say it's like one of the classic sort of 2010s songs. Like if when you look at 2010s music, it will definitely be there. It will be up there if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's 6 years old.
Christ, I remember when that came out. They used to like CBBC.
Yeah.
And whenever they used to end their programming at the end of the day, and like what they'd do is they'd play a sign off, and then once they signed off, it would just be this constant looping of like clips, and they used to play No Money in the background of these clips. Like that was the background music for the sign off for a while. So I have quite a lot of memories attached to that song. So yeah, quite like it.
Yeah. It's quite a nice song.
Yeah, I can see why you chose it as your song of the week. So that brings me to my song of the week, which is Bruxelles Je t'aime, which is of course by Angèle. Now, this is going to take a little bit of explaining, as it is a French song. And one thing that I have to say is I do love French music. When I say French, I mean mainly Belgian. Like a lot of the French artists are actually Belgiques, which I don't know what it is with them. Like Stromae, who's known for his mega hit Alors on danse, which you might not know the title of the song, but if you hear it, I guarantee you like you'll know it, because it was one of the biggest songs of the 2010s. Like it was a massive song. Anyway, so I've been like, it is part of me learning French. Listening to French music definitely helps. And Bruxelles Je t'aime is such a great song. Not only is it just really upbeat, but it also talks about something that I'm very familiar with. So the song is about Angèle talking about Brussels and how she loves Brussels, as in the capital of the capital of Belgium. Now, I've lived out around that way for quite some time, and I have to say I've been to Brussels quite a bit, and I have to say that I absolutely love it. Brussels is just such a great place to be. It's such a great city. There's so much to do there. And in the music video as well of Bruxelles Je t'aime, you can actually see her standing next to like a model of the Atomium, which is this massive like structure, like tourist attraction in Belgium, like in Brussels specifically. Either way, I think that not only is the song upbeat, not only is the song something that's like really a summer banger, which I think is, I want to say flown under the radar, but it's got 25 million views on YouTube, so I can't really say that. I think in the English-speaking world, I don't think many people are that aware of the song, and I just thought that I would love to share it with you guys at home or wherever you are, and just try and get some French music into people's lives. I know that at first you might not want to, but trust me, take the plunge and you will forever be an Angèle fan. If you don't want to listen to all French music, I would just give you a short list of Bruxelles Je t'aime, Fever, which is Angèle and Dua Lipa. So if you do like Dua Lipa, you might know Angèle through that. And also La Loi de Murphy, which is just a song about Murphy's Law, which is essentially anything that can go wrong will go wrong. 3 great songs, absolutely love them. But today, my song of the week is Bruxelles Je t'aime, which is by Angèle. So all of the songs will be linked in the description and added to our Song of the Week playlists. So absolutely encourage you to go check them out. Again, each individual song will be linked in the description, plus the playlists will also be linked in the description. And we will be back next week with some new Songs of the Week. And that brings us on to our third and final topic, where we will be talking about Call of Duty Zombies. So Call of Duty Zombies is a massive franchise. It's something that I have been getting back into as of late, and something that as well I have been forcing Ben to play at gunpoint. So in the spirit of him being my best friend, I thought that I would finally release the gun from his head and let him have his own opinion about Call of Duty Zombies. So Ben, you and I are kind of giving our opinions on them. So I guess what we can do is we can go through them in release order and then just give our opinions on each zombies and then decide on which one is in our top three. So we'll pick a top one, middle one, a bottom one. That's how three works. You know, you have one, two, and three. So yeah, let's start off then with the first ever Call of Duty Zombies, which was Call of Duty World at War. So Call of Duty World at War was, of course, the first Zombies game, and it was more of just like an extended feature. It didn't really exist as a franchise yet. So this is the birthplace where, of course, we get Nacht der Toten, which is by far one of the most painful maps I have played, but it's painful because of the way, like, it's simply painful because it's the first ever Zombies map. So of course it can only improve from there. And when I compare it to some of the other Zombies maps, like, obviously you've only got about 4 or 5 doors to open at that. And it really is just not even that. I think you got three.
Three you can open, and but that three you can open, which allows you to set up for really good like training. But if you open the fourth one, it gets harder.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. The thing is, I love Nacht der Toten, but I wouldn't choose it as a map because now this is before Pack-a-Punch. This is before Gobblegums. This is just literally bare bones zombies, and
You can still get perks though.
yeah, that's true. Still got your part. No, actually,
Yeah.
no.
You've got Mule on the side and the bottom. Or am I thinking of the later?
No, you're thinking of the
Black Ops
Black
3
Ops 3. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
yeah,
there's
back
still a
then-
sprint machine though. I think though.
No. Back then, parks weren't even a concept.
They're not.
No. If I remember
Otherwise it's
correctly,
gonna lie.
I know it's actually kind of crazy. Like, imagine playing zombies with no perks, like no Juggernog. Like, that's an essential part of zombies these days. Mad, absolutely mad. Once we get from Nacht der Untoten, I should say, not Nacht der Toten. I'm getting a couple different maps confused. I'm getting Kino der Toten confused with Nacht der Untoten, which is Night of the Undead. So Verrückt is the next map that you get in Call of Duty World at War, which is, of course, the one that's set in the insane asylum.
Yeah.
What would you say your opinion is on Verrückt as a map?
I mean, I've not played it much, but there's definitely worse maps out there, I would say.
Yeah, I would tend to agree on that. I would say, like, Verrückt as a map, I dislike it for the reason that you're never too far away from a barrier, which makes
it hard.
Yeah, it just makes it extremely difficult. It's not fun, if that makes sense. Like, it's if you're wanting a short game, you go on Verrückt. I mean, this could be me as, like, call me a zombies noob. Like, I've been playing zombies for a long time, but I'm nowhere near the pro status that some people are. I haven't got like round 100s. So, you could easily tell me, like, oh, Verrückt is so easy, you just gotta train zombies. But personally, if you play it the way it's supposed to be played, like, for me, if you play it the way that zombies was originally meant to be played, which was literally just kill as many as possible before going down, that was it. That's how it works. But it is also important to remember that Verrückt is the one that actually introduced Coca-Cola.
Yeah, so we can get that from it at least.
Yeah, like, at least it gave us something.
Yeah.
And then, after Verrückt, you got Shi No Numa.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually ever played in that one,
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Shi No Numa. I won't lie.
Is that the one in like the hangar?
Yeah, it's like the swamps.
Yeah, I've not played that one.
Yeah, I dislike it with let's just say, with every fiber of my being. It is the worst zombies map, in my opinion. I don't like it at all. I don't like the location. I think it definitely is a better map. Like, it is an improvement on Verrückt, but I'm not a fan of the layout of the map. I'm pretty sure on this you start getting hellhounds as well, which is
actually good. Well, also not in the early CODs, but nowadays it's sort of like a breather.
Yeah, I mean, hellhounds are definitely like, say when you go on giant is a like hellhounds are definitely a breather, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, to be fair, there are worse enemies than hellhounds, and we'll get to that when we get to like,
Cold War.
yeah, when we get to some of the other Call of Duties, the next one, which is Call of Duty Black Ops. Yeah, so Kino de Toten is the first map, which is just, of course, Kino de Toten. Like, it's probably the most famous zombies map, I have to say. And then Ascension as well, which,
Oh yes, Edge, we've
yeah,
played on.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played Ascension a fair amount. This is where we get like, well, we start to really get more complex Easter eggs as well. Like, we start to get proper Easter eggs on Ascension. And one thing I have to say about Ascension is the monkeys. I hate them. I hate the monkeys as little mini bosses. They're not even mini bosses. They're the hellhounds, but worse. Like, they steal your perks away, which is yeah,
Yeah.
like not happy about it. But in terms of like maps, Kino de Toten, Ascension, and then Dead Ops as well is kind of introduced in this,
Dead Ops, yeah.
which is arguably not proper zombies, but it's still zombies mode.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're killing zombies, so I suppose I'm gonna class it as a zombies mode.
And then you got Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So this is where you get some of the more interesting maps. So you get Nuketown,
Yeah.
Die Rise, which is like a massive what do you call it? It's a massive tower, like skyscraper, that's the word. It's a massive skyscraper. You got Transit.
Well, Transit, I love Transit as a multiplayer map and as a zombies map.
Yeah, I think Transit seemed like a decent concept for a map. And I think it's very much like a Revelation style map where it brings a couple of different places together. And you can actually see Nocta and Potent on there if you get off at a certain point, which I just think is a pretty cool part of it. And I think it in a way is precursor to Revelations. Then Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which is definitely our forte, where you have where you get introduced to the Eisendrach, Gorod Korovi, Moon,
Shadows of
Nocta.
Evil.
That's it, Shadows of Evil, and then you get the remakes of Nocta Untoten, Kino de Toten, The Giant, Verruct.
Origin.
Then you also get Zetsubo no Shima, Shinonuma, Shangri-La, like lots
A
and
whole list of them.
lots. Absolutely. So some of these are obviously not exclusive to Black Ops 3. Some of them are remakes. Shadows of Evil.
Yeah. It's good for a map that comes with it. It comes with Black Ops 3, but
I
I've
completely
got mixed feelings
agree.
about it.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a map that's a great starter map, but when you put it into perspective with all the other maps that came out after it, and all the other maps that you can get with Black Ops 3, i.e. the Zombies Chronicles, where you get Ascension, not Gorod, Ascension, Kino, Moon, Nacht,
The rest of them.
Shinonuma, yeah, the giant. Well, the giant is a one that you buy separately. Zetsubo no Shima, like not Zetsubo, Shinonuma. Even oh my gosh, it's a pretty weak map when you compare it to all the other maps that you can get in the game. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Right, I'm not going to go into the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare maps particularly, but I say that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is a severely underrated game, and I absolutely love the zombies in it. It's just a shame that no one else has the zombies. Like, I have all the zombies maps because I have the season pass, and it's a real shame. The one map that comes as standard with it, though, I just love to bits. I think that the idea behind it is brilliant. I think that having it set in a theme park where you can ride some of the rides, you can play some of the games in there. Once you die, you can earn points in a mini arcade to get back. I think it's just such an ingenious idea, and I really, really, really love it. And I could talk about it all day, but seriously, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare underrated. Then we get to Call of Duty World War II. I love that game. I love Call of Duty World War II Zombies is genuinely goated. Like, I know it's not a Treyarch Zombies, but World War II, despite being an easier zombies than Treyarch, I think it's a massive. I think it's just a brilliant, like the Nazi zombies. I love. I think it's another severely underrated zombies that has just been taken by it's been taken over by Treyarch Zombies, which is a real shame because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Ben, but I think most people would be interested in like the Richtofen, like the Treyarch Ether storyline than they would be in, say, Nazi Zombies.
Yeah, but and personally, me, I am kind of leaning towards that way as well.
Yeah, World War II Zombies wasn't a bad idea, and I think props to Sledgehammer for doing their best on it. Then you get Black Ops 4. Gonna gloss over Black Ops 4 really. Then we get Black Ops Cold War, which is just Black Ops Cold War, an interesting one to say the least.
There's zombies in it. It's probably one of my top 3, to be honest. Well, Firebase, that certain map.
Yeah, definitely. I liked Firebase as a map.
Yeah, that's just a good Easter egg because it brought back all the ether and shit. I'd say that.
Yeah, I mean it's the I think it's what's referred to as the Dark Ether storyline, so it's slightly different.
It's slightly different, but it's Richtofen still in it. It makes an appearance in it, doesn't he?
I think so. It's been a long time since I've actually done it, but again, it's more the Easter eggs are more straightforward than they are in Black Ops 3.
Yeah,
but
and then there's the open world map as well. What's that called?
Yeah, Outbreak, wasn't it?
Outbreak. Yeah, you can play across multiple maps from the campaign and multiplayer maps, which I think is actually pretty interesting.
Call of Duty Vanguard. I thought, go for it. I can't wait. Played it. I did it for the trophy. That's it. That's all I can say. Yeah, so if you were to pick your top 3 then, what games would it be in terms of, so start off at number 3. What game would you say is the third best for zombies?
I'm gonna go for Black Ops 3. Sorry, no, Cold War.
So Cold War is your number 3?
Yes, Cold War number 3.
Number 2 for you?
World War 2. Call of Duty's World War 2, my number 2 pick for zombies. Because it's such an underrated, and it really took it to the next level, I suppose. And then my favourite Call of Duty of all time is Black Ops 3. I mean, I don't know what there's much to say about it other than it's just, I'm going to go as far as to say probably the best Call of Duty Zombies there's ever been. That's just my opinion, but
I can absolutely understand that. And then, like, for me, if I were to pick my top 3, my number 3 would be Infinite Warfare, just for the pure and simple fact that it is the best attempt by Infinity Ward at a zombies. Then for my second one, I'd agree with World War II. It's criminally underrated. Certainly the story, like they wrapped it up pretty much all in one game rather than spreading it out for God knows how long. And then, of course, for my number 1 pick, it would definitely be Black Ops 3 for there's pretty much the same reasons as you. I guess that brings us to the end of today's episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you, Ben, for sitting down with me and discussing some of the news that's been going on recently. And of course, well, I say news. Been a pretty slow news week, to be completely honest. Not really much interesting has happened up until this point. So yeah, thanks for chatting with me about Star Wars, PlayStation, and indeed Call of Duty Zombies. So yes, if you'd like to see more of us, you can find us over on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and of course Spotify. And we also have a TikTok where we post some short form content, and we also do the same over on YouTube Shorts. And yeah, don't forget that the links to our Song of the Week will be in the description for not only the Song of the Week playlist, but also the individual songs as well. So yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for listening, and I have been Marcus.
And I've been Ben.
And this has been your entertainment update.